from Relentless wants to know, any tips on reading coverages? He seems to get mixed up between cover 4 and cover 1 robber. That was kind of a unique question because I don't think many people call cover 1 robber. But let's take a look at cover 4, and then we'll maybe come back out and call the cover 1 robber.
Yeah, cover 4.
So here's cover 4, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's cover 4.
The biggest thing to learn is you got obviously the 4 guys all outside, all backed up. Let's then go out. We'll call cover 1 robber. See if they look the same. See if they look different. I don't know who calls cover 1 robber.
I've seen it a couple times, but it's not how we used to call it because you do need the deep safeties. I get it because they're not pressed. This one specific cover robber, you're not going to have a tell. You're not going to have a tell
until after the snap.
Maybe with motion, because with motion the guy's going to follow him in man. I think in zone, unless they do the man align, the defender won't follow him. And that's also a little pro tip. That's why I've been using man align so much, because it helps disguise your zone coverage.
But after the snap, how can he learn? Because if there's no read before the snap,
just our guys following people. I think a big tell too is, let's take a look at the safety. They're going to use probably one of the safeties, right? So that means you can look at one of the safeties and then determine, look where that free safety breaks. His step is to the middle of the field.
Because he's in a deep zone, but over the middle.
Over the middle. So if you re-hot route him to the quarters, re-hot route him. All right, now get off him. Snap the ball. Now see how his first step is backwards? If you really want to play in on the safety, that's what you notice. In cover 4, the safety's going to take a step back directly. In the cover 1, he's going to break towards the middle of the field. So that could be a clue for you to take a look there.
Yeah, I would guess they'd probably use her here.
Jenny Capricorn's here?
Pretty good. Gibbs, quick question from Portland. Does the run and gun playbook rank? He says it's got a bunch of inside zones and 6 wildcat plays.
Yeah, I could use that. I think...
Run and gun, my issue with...
Audibles aren't inside zones.
Audibles are not inside zones, I don't believe. And, they haven't updated those playbooks in a few seasons, so, the air raid playbook doesn't change. So when new effective plays come in the game, they don't necessarily go into those playbooks because they're more focused on the newer team playbooks and adding and making sure those are really shored up. So that's why generally I don't run all of those type of plays. But I've been running the run and gun playbook for a long time.
Yep.
Good book.
Tell you what, this play right here, basic, one of the best plays in the game. Pound for pound, routes.
It's pretty good.
You need a good run, but that right there, nice, great cross, drag. All you gotta do is 2 hot routes. It's a great play. Tough route right there to defend.
I yicked it, but yeah.
Yeah?
Did I not? Alright. Alright, here we go. Next mailbag question. This one is coming in from June Cab. He wants to know, Gibbs, what does double base aligning or double man aligning do benefits-wise? He was also curious about the double slide protecting.
Okay.
So do you double baseline? Do you double man align? And
I don't do that this year. I don't really see the benefits of doing the baseline. I don't run a ton of hooks. I like flats, and I like flats this year. That's my zone of choice. So let's take a look real quick. Give me a base align.
Okay.
All right. So base align. Now let me just motion Kotri over. You see me do this a lot right now. See how the defense is frozen?
Mm-hmm.
So you could argue that that's a way to freeze your defense and say, well, they won't know if I'm in man or zone. That's not the meta. The meta is you play zone coverage and you do base align. That's so you kind of get a tell that your opponent is in zone coverage when you do that. So I just run the play here and throw it away. Now this time I want you to hit coverage audible Y and then RB. That's gonna give you a man align. And I think
even though I'm in zone, I can still man align.
Yeah, so you see how it brings the other defender over?
Mm-hmm.
So you got better alignment. Now,
were you doing this last night?
Yeah. So now, because I call press. So call press. So this is why, because now you think I'm in man.
And then you usered this guy.
Yeah, so you think I'm in man.
I didn't think you were in man. I thought, I'm going to run the double P. That's all I could think.
Oh, well, but that's the whole purpose why I use man align, because it makes you think it's man, and then you press. That's why I personally like it, because this defense right here is difficult, and then now just audible all up to man-to-man. Now just hit man align again, man align, and press. So like you got the same alignment. So that's why I personally have been playing War Man Line, because it gives you a better disguised zone coverage, and because you can run this defense and then still get the same pressure whether it's man or zone. So that's what I like about it. I don't use the man line. I don't use the double baseline anymore because I think the value of hooks aren't as great as they were in past games.
Yeah, so if you want a base align, what you do is you just press the Y button, which brings up all your coverage adjustments. So from here, you can press the left stick to the left, and that will base align. If you push RB after you press Y, you will man align. And there's a bunch of other adjustments you can make. Definitely go into practice mode and kind of play around with them. I find the one I use most is Y, and then I utilize the right stick either over the top or underneath. Depending on if it's like third and long or third and short, that's what I go with.
Yep.
So,
real quick for me though.
Yeah.
Now, don't do anything to your defense. Just want to see something. Okay, so see how no one went with him, right? Okay, now don't do anything. Wait for me here. So that's zone coverage. So yeah, you can tell with that read right there. Now hit Y, what coverage audible? Y and then RB. Okay. Now. Let me motion Kotri.
Now you think it's man.
See how you think it's man,
but it's not.
But it's not man. So that's
but their zones are all jacked. Do
that's
they switch
fine.
after the snap, or do they run like no?
Yeah, they went.
Nah, you
That's
don't want
fine.
that.
Yeah, but you put flats on the play. It actually creates for havoc, which is awesome. Do this. Let me do this. Watch. This is how I'd set it up.
What if they motion out of you man align? That's what we're showing. Right.
All right, so motion over A to the right. I'll tell you, it's fine. It's totally fine. It's fine. I'm going to play here. I got a hook over there. That guy's going to drop over the middle of the field, and I'm over here. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. It creates havoc, bro. Like, do you want... It's good. It's good.
Maybe.
Yeah. Legit.
I think it takes... I don't think you want them running all across the field.
No, I think you do.
I think you do.
It defends things in really weird situations. That's what's good about it.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah. Like, see how he goes over? Like, you don't expect him going over there. Like, what route are you afraid of right there? You're not. You can always rezone him, too. It's not like you can't, if you don't, like, okay, you don't like it, you don't love it.
Could you base the line twice now or no?
Jacks up, no. Could, but that worked, but the guys moved. That defeats the whole purpose.
I dropped that dot on you last night, and then you hit me back.
Yeah.
And you also picked one. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I tipped my cap, I think.
It's dope. I think more people should do it more, is the man align feature press, and mix that with, like, what am I in right now?
So.
What am I in now?
Still zone. You thought I would say man, but you stayed in zone. Just kidding.
Man. Yo, gotcha, Farls.
Yeah, you audible
No, I didn't.
after.
No, I
That's
didn't.
why your guys backed up. That's definitely what happened.
Nope.
You would just go over those adjustments real quick, one more time, slow.
Yeah. So
And what's the final point? What's like the wrap it up, too long didn't read version?
too long didn't read is we've always in the Madden community used base align as a way to freeze your defense and then cause confusion for your opponents so they can't get a read whether you are in man or in zone because it makes it look everything looks the same pre-snap. We also did it because we needed to generate enough resources near the line of scrimmage to be able to blitz off either edge, and you need to have defenders frozen in one place of the field in order to do that. You couldn't have everybody moving all over the field, like balancing like the game does. Now, the game has given us additional tools like the man align tool, which now, if you use that, it makes your zone defense look and react like it's pre-snap man-to-man. So that's how you can best disguise your zone coverage is if you hit Y on the coverage audible, and then hit RB, and then I use press because it makes it look like cover 2-man. So now if you were to go use motion, so motion Kotri over, you use motion, you have a zone defender, follow him, And now it appears to your opponent like you're in man-to-man coverage.
Because you did man a line before the play.
Correct.
Even though you're in zone.
Even though I'm in zone.
Savage.
Great move.
I like it. Good stuff.
Boom.
All right, if you have more questions on that, leave them in the comments or in the chat. We'll make sure to go and explore, but I think that's a good way to show you just a glimpse at some of the tools you have available to yourself to kind of mess with opponents' minds.
Right? See, that, you know what? Let me go on a little rant right here.
All right,
okay?
You want the cam?
Yeah, this is why. This is why I will defend Madden for eternity in most situations, right? Because you have certain tools like that I hardly anyone knows about. It's a very hardcore feature. It's a very hardcore tool. But like once you understand that exists, like it makes the game so fresh and so new because now you have such another like new level to cause confusion for your opponent. Like you have more tools than you ever thought you had. And there's so many little tools like that in this game that are available for you that most people aren't even aware of or don't use. And I think the big thing for next year is going to be that zone coverage blog that we talked about. And I'm asking people to bookmark because there's going to be so many zone coverages that are at your disposal to use that most people probably never will use because they don't know about them or they don't take the time to learn about them. Probably because they're not going to know about them. Probably an education thing. But that's where I defend the game a lot of situations because I know of all these things and it's like you got to get them out there to you guys. So
I'm going to back you up on that, and I'm going to say a lot of the frustration people have with the game is they get beat by something and they don't know how to stop it.
Yes.
So they can't stop a corner route, they can't stop 4 verticals, and I agree, those are tough plays. A lot of people run them, they're effective, they work. Maybe you get more time in the pocket than Cam Newton does on Sunday, so you can wait on the 4 verticals route, or maybe you have a good receiver out there and the aggressive catch works better than you think. So maybe there's all these little factors that make that play just a little bit better than another play. But at the end of the day, you have the tools at your disposal on defense. We just showed you a couple of them. If you complain, but you can't provide like that good feedback, like can't explain, like if you just get emotional and get really mad, like man, and that
knock over soda waters,
and you don't use that fuel, that like anger of wanting to get better to like, hey, I'm gonna search or go find this or go do that or take 10 minutes in practice mode. If you don't use that fuel and you just instead take that like fuel to Twitter or to the forums and like, God, this guy's the jerk, I think you're not doing yourself a service because there is a lot of things you can do that you see top players do that make those adjustments. Now there's a lot of teaching tools in the game that can help show you that. Skills Trainer, I know the guys at EA are always trying to improve how they can teach people about football, but that's what we also try and help. But yeah, I think if you can't kind of harness, like, what's the real thing I'm having? Well, I'm having trouble stopping corner routes. Well, why are you having trouble stopping corner routes? Well, when I put a purple corner zone out there, it doesn't work. Well, hey, man, that's not a corner zone.
Well,
but if I'm like, hey, have you tried man aligning? And they're like, well, what's that? You either get like, oh, no, I shouldn't have to do that to stop this. And you either get that attitude or you get like, no, man, what is that? That sounds cool. I'm going to try that in my next game. Maybe I'm going to lose the next game, but maybe I'm not going to get beat by the corner route anymore. Maybe I'm going to get beat by another route.
Right.
So now I man align, I stop the corner route, now I press over here, and now I stop that. And now I'm a week better, a week stronger. So I think,
2 weeks ago, we struggled, we're like, this is the best blitz ever. We couldn't pick it up. Right. And now, no problem.
And so 7 Cities is back me up, but I've felt 7 Cities' pain. He could have given up. He could have packed his bags, slung it over his shoulder. You know, one of those sticks with like the t-shirt.
Yeah. Walking away like the little duck, down a dirt road, train tracks. Oh, shucks.
He could have been like, I hate getting sacked. I want to pass the ball. It's way more fun to pass the ball than for me to run the ball. But I don't know how to pick up these pressures. Every time a new blitz comes out, I lose a couple games, and that's not fun. But he didn't. He was like, how do I pick this up? But he took it to the next step. He didn't just say, well, I need to know how to pick up this one blitz. I need to understand the whole big picture of what happens when blitz comes out and how people pick it up and how it takes away what you want to do and how you might need to switch playbooks or you might not need to switch playbooks or you might need to watch Twitter or you might need to just... But he's willing to learn, and I know that even though he may not be the best guy right now, he's willing to take that step to get up to that All-Madden tier maybe next year, maybe the year after.
Right.
You got $1 million coming up on the line. Not just one person's going to win $1 million. It's going to be a lot spread out. There's going to be more tournament players going on.
Let me just
And maybe
Let
not
me
every
just
guy's
bash
the
my
guy,
head.
but like you are all here. You're way ahead of a lot of other people
Yeah.
that want to start competing in these tournaments.
Let me
Do you
just-
have the time? Do you have the guts? Like,
Let me-
do you want to play? Do you want to be good? Do you want to compete in something, or you just want to kind of play for fun? And then if I lose, I go home.
Let me bash my head here real quick to explain that to people. Guys, there is $1 million on the line.